Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. The temporary ceasefire between Pakistan and Afghanistan has been extended until the conclusion of talks in Doha. The extension came at Kabul's request, with high-level negotiations expected to begin tomorrow. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed all provinces to ensure the early and safe repatriation of illegal Afghan residents during a high-level meeting in Islamabad. The session reviewed national security, diplomatic developments, and the ongoing repatriation process. The Prime Minister praised Field Marshal Asim Munir for leading Pakistan's successful defence against Afghan aggression and for ensuring national stability during recent tensions. Pakistan has expressed serious concern over repeated border violations by the Afghan Taliban and terrorists, saying the country responded befittingly to aggression from Afghan soil. The Foreign Office spokesperson said Pakistan acted in self-defense, thwarting cross-border attacks while ensuring civilian safety. He added, "There is no constitution or legitimate government in Kabul, only a group in power by force, and that the recent ceasefire was announced at Kabul's request." President Donald Trump says his proposed 100% tariff on Chinese goods is not sustainable, but insists Beijing's export curbs forced his hand. Speaking to a news channel, Trump said the new tariffs and export controls aim to secure a fair deal ahead of his planned meeting with President Xi in South Korea. The remarks came just as the head of the World Trade Organization warned that rising US-China trade tensions could slash global economic output by 7%. WTO chief Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala urged both sides to de-escalate, saying global financial stability depends on trade stability as new tariffs and export curbs shake markets. On the other hand, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has directed the IMF and World Bank to adopt tougher stances on China's state-driven economic policies. In a statement to the IMF Steering Committee, Bessent urged ending World Bank support for China and redirecting funds to poorer nations. The Kremlin says a summit between Presidents Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin could take place within the next 2 weeks, most likely in Budapest. The announcement follows the two leaders' recent agreement to hold fresh talks on ending the war in Ukraine. Kremlin officials say several diplomatic steps remain before finalizing a date, with Moscow stressing its readiness for a peaceful settlement. Meanwhile, Hungary has confirmed it will guarantee safe entry for Russian President Vladimir Putin to attend his planned summit with President Trump in Budapest. Foreign Minister Peter Szijjarto said the government would ensure Putin's visit and return take place without obstacles, despite the International Criminal Court issuing a warrant for his arrest. As this unfolds, a senior Kremlin envoy has proposed building a Putin-Trump tunnel under the Bering Strait to connect Russia and the United States. Head of Russia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, Kirill Dmitriev, says the $8 billion rail and cargo link would symbolize unity and revive cooperation between the two countries. The project is inspired by century-old plans to link Siberia and Alaska and was floated just hours after Putin and Trump agreed to meet in Budapest. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has held meeting with senior US officials and defense industry leaders in Washington just before his visit to the White House. He met US Energy Secretary Chris Wright and representatives from Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. Zelensky is seeking advanced military support, including Tomahawk missiles, amid escalating tensions with Russia. Hamas has urged mediators Egypt, Qatar and Turkey to advance the next steps of the Gaza ceasefire, which includes reopening borders, allowing aid, and beginning reconstruction. The group says it remains committed to the truce, but accused Israel of delaying key measures. Meanwhile, the United Nations World Food Programme says it has delivered around 560 tons of food per day to Gaza since the ceasefire began, but the aid remains far below what's needed. It says access to northern Gaza and Gaza City is still blocked, with damaged roads and closed crossings slowing relief efforts, even as the agency races to expand food assistance across the enclave. South Korea has launched its largest ever defence exhibition, ADEX 2025, featuring record global participation and live air shows led by the country's new KF-21 fighter jet. More than 600 defence firms from 35 countries are taking part in the Seoul event. The 3-day air display will be followed by major business exhibitions, as Seoul boosts defence spending by over 8% amid growing regional tensions. And China has successfully launched a new satellite group from the Taiyuan Center in Shaanxi province. The satellites will form part of the Space Sail constellation, a commercial, low-orbit network aimed at boosting communication and data services. The launch took place at 3:08 p.m. Beijing time aboard a modified Long March 6 rocket, marking the 601st mission in the Long March series. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.SAMAA TV. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.